Before you run a rebate campaign and running Facebook ads trying to target your past Amazon customers, you should probably watch this video. Me and Tyler are going to be telling you some things to avoid, potentially not even do altogether. So stay tuned and keep watching this video. Let's go ahead now and just jump into it with first introducing you to Tyler. What's up, Tyler?
Hi, Ian. So we're gonna, like you said, go over all this information. I myself kind of specialize in Messenger / running Amazon / I guess ranking campaigns for Amazon sellers, and I also am an Amazon seller myself. Not the best intro, but yeah, that'll have to do.
No, that works for me. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Ian Smith. I run an Amazon marketing agency called Evolve Media. We work with a ton of Amazon sellers. We help them with running Facebook ads, Google ads, Amazon PPC, email marketing, and building messenger bots. So if you want to book a free consulting call with me, then head over to evolvemedia.agency. All right, so the first thing that we wanted to cover is Facebook's slightly change in their terms and policies. It regards running Facebook ads asking for reviews. Tyler, what kind of insight have you seen regarding this?
Yeah, so around, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks from now, or at least this recording, I should say, Facebook kind of announced that they're going to be changing their ads platform, or more updating it, right? They're just updating their kind of terms of service. And one of the things that they touched on that does affect us Amazon sellers is that they're really kind of trying to cut down on requesting kind of feedback on the Amazon ad itself. Now, my belief is that they're really trying to cut down on the black hat sellers and not really the white hat sellers. But unfortunately, Facebook kind of puts us all in the same pot. And as white hat sellers, we kind of have to be careful just because they're trying to cut down, so they could even suspend your account or ban your page or just do kind of Facebook things like they always do.
Yeah.
So we just got to kind of stay wary of that. So it's really, when you're trying to make a Facebook ad, you just want to be careful of your verbiage of like making sure that it doesn't look like you're enticing people to leave a review. Like you're not saying, hey, get this product for free, leave a review after, because they probably look at that and say, okay, this isn't really something we want to advertise on.
Yeah, and I've experienced the same thing, especially with that like verbiage, right? So what I've learned is that you always want to be very clear in your Facebook ad to say, buy this or purchase this. I wouldn't even use the term get this. Literally just say, buy this product, get a $23 gift card, get a $24 promo code to our store, being very clear about how they're going to buy something and then they're going to get a specific thing for free, whether it's a promo code savings, a gift card, something like that. But we have definitely had some bad experiences with running Facebook ads with saying, you're going to get this thing for free, get this free product right here, because Facebook immediately triggers it and flags it as deceptive. Like they think that something sketchy is going on, which, I mean, it does sound deceptive and sketchy because it's like, what's the catch, right? You're not just going to give me something for free. So what is the catch here? So you definitely want to say, buy this and get X. And then regarding reviews, we do run a good amount of Facebook ads targeting past Amazon customers asking for reviews. In my personal experience, I haven't actually had any accounts shut down due to that. It could have been a contributing factor to getting accounts shut down, but with Facebook, they don't give you any kind of warning. You literally will have zero clue about when your account is going to be shut down. They just do it, and then you can appeal it, and then you have one shot at getting it turned back on. It really is frustrating, but I always recommend just playing it safe with Facebook.
Yeah, trying to be really careful on like how you word it, and
definitely
exactly just like you mentioned.
So Tyler, I know that you're a messenger bot guy. You know a lot about ManyChat and building up messenger bots and things like that. So when it comes to OTNs, one-time notifications, and being able to message people outside of that 24-hour window, what are some strategies and techniques that you're using?
So it's pretty simple. All you really want to do is kind of like let the user know, or the customer, or whatever it may kind of, whatever you would like to call them, is like, hey, would you like to be notified of X? And like X could be, we're going to be having a future promotion, right? So would you like to be notified of that? And then, they would click the notify me button. And then that's of course kind of related to a topic. And then you can then, like you said, message that person outside of the 24-hour rule and kind of utilize that lead later down the line, because that's pretty much your only way of communicating with them via Messenger after that 24-hour window, which does go by extremely quickly, especially when you're building a massive list. And then the others is just so like, if you ever want to like ask them to leave a review, you can't just use a post purchased. You used to be able to, kind of being a little bit more strict with that. So now I like to kind of like ask them like, hey, we would love for your feedback in the future, right? This could be after they've purchased the rebate offer, or after they get the rebate itself. You can kind of pick where you want to use this OTN topic. You say, hey, we'd love to ask for a review down the line. Would you be all right with us messaging you down the line? And then if they say yes, then that's when you give them the notification button.
So I really like that strategy of just being straightforward and just telling them the honest truth, saying, hey, we'd love to ask you for a review, follow up down the line. Other ways to do it, though, would be, incentivizing them by saying maybe, we love giving out free products. Be sure to click here and tune in on the next time that we want to give away free products, or the next time we want to run a raffle, a giveaway drawing, the next time we want to run a massive deal discount for an upcoming holiday. You can say things like that. And so remember, OTN is an organic free way to reach your Messenger bot subscribers, but the other way to reach them is through a Facebook ad, which is basically a sponsored message where you can pay, I think it's about $25 cost per 1,000 messages, and you can pay to actually send all of your subscribers messages. So you still can reach people outside of the 24-hour window, but you got to actually pay for it.
Yeah. Or you can use like a SMS or even email works well also. And that's all built in within ManyChat, so it's pretty easy to use. It's just kind of the best way to do it really is OTN, because, it's free and it's not very difficult to set up at all. So it's kind of a no-brainer, if you will. So
yeah, OTNs are definitely going to give you the best engagement rate as far as open rate and click-through rates, because Messenger is just crazy good with that when you compare it to email. But email is something I would definitely recommend. I mean, if you can get their email address from them, then by all means, try to hit them through email. Just when we talk about incentivizing them, again, you're trying to incentivize them to click on that OTN button to actually subscribe for that future message. So before we actually started recording this video, Tyler and I were talking about some different things that he's finding and, regarding Amazon rankings and things like that. And he mentioned Rank 30. Tyler, tell us, what is this whole Rank 30 and the Amazon algorithm doing?
Okay, so this is more of like a theory, and then again, I've kind of bounced back and forth with some other sellers. So this isn't something that like is hard coded in the ground, like, oh, we know this is happening, and so on. So take this kind of a grain of salt, if you will. And essentially what Rank 30 is if they see that your listing hits a certain, well, again, this is a theory. If they see that listing hits kind of a conversion rate above what's the norm, right? Now, the norm could be defined as like, maybe 20%, maybe 30%. It kind of depends on the marketplace you're playing in, right? Because every listing, right, the cheaper listings usually have a better conversion rate than, say, the expensive listings. So that being said, it kind of depends on your marketplace. But anyway, so it exceeds a certain amount, and then that triggers this kind of Rank 30 algorithm. Now, what happens is that they'll put your listing at around position 30, position 32, position 31, so on. That's why it's called Rank 30, is because they put you kind of in that 30 zone. And then they'll kind of add you to a certain locations, right? So if we compare this to the United States, they'll maybe take you in New York or Texas or so on, and they'll put you back to where you normally were. And for the test, what they'll do is they'll suppress all the other locations in that kind of marketplace. And for those 2 or 3, whatever locations, you'll be ranked normal, and they'll record what's going on. And if that conversion rate drops drastically, then it's kind of confirmed that your listing was doing some type of manipulation of that conversion rate to kind of inflate that conversion rate. And what they'll do is after the test is done, they'll actually kind of have a negative result. So your listing will go lower in the search results than it was previously at. But if they see that your listing is, let's say, it stays at the same conversion rate or, more or less close to it in those kind of particular test grounds, then they'll actually put your listing back. And this test kind of lasts, from what I could tell, it lasted anywhere from, I want to say 4 to 7 days roughly. And we kind of noticed this a lot during Christmas and November, or December and November really. And the reasoning being is just because like the conversion rate from basically a lot of listings, if not all of them, just go up very drastically. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what triggered this, is that, like I said, they would see that these listings are just way higher than they needed to be, and there was no manipulation at all. It's just it triggers this rank 30 algorithm, and then they kind of decide whether or not your listing belongs at the top of the search result, or is it being manipulated to be at the top of the search result. So this is kind of like, in my opinion, this is one of their ways of combating what they perceive to be listings that don't deserve to be at the top.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess that's good to know. Again, it is a theory, so it's just a theory to keep in mind that, pay attention to your rankings and look at the different locations, states and stuff that your rankings are, and just something to keep in mind. But tell me a little bit, Tyler, what is your impression on the Amazon buyer score, and how does that whole thing work? And then how do you potentially, use that to your advantage, or even avoid doing certain marketing tactics to avoid getting Amazon customers with low buyer scores to buy your product?
Okay, so first I'll kind of give a little bit of context on what buyer score is. And again, this is more like kind of one of those theories. It's not like hard coded into the ground, but essentially what buyer score is that Amazon actually rates everybody, all their accounts that they have. They rate them throughout kind of their buyer account as well as the seller account. So this is more of a kind of a black hat thing, but we got kind of a review, if you will, from an actual account, and they rate your seller account, and then they also rate your buyer account. And the rating isn't like a 1 to 0 or from 1 to 100%. It's kind of more like good, bad, or whatever. It's something along those lines. Again, we don't have like kind of all the information that Amazon gives us. They're fairly a black box. But
yeah,
essentially the kind of moral of the story is that there's a buyer score situated to every account, and the lower the score, the less quality that lead is, and the less weight that person gives when they purchase your product. So essentially, if they're a deal seeker, right, that's kind of like what you would say a low quality is, then they won't give you as much weight when they purchase compared to somebody that is a high quality lead. And the kind of best practices to avoid these low quality leads is really through where you're getting those leads. And if you're running a Facebook ad, then you really want to work on your ad set level and try to exclude deal seekers, right? You can exclude certain audiences that kind of pertain to those deal seekers, right? The coupon groups, the freebie groups, the giveaway groups, and so on. And you do your best to exclude those guys or girls and whoever it is from all those from the ads that you're going to be running if you're doing a rebate giveaway.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be running Facebook ads targeting those freebie hunters and deal seekers. I mean, try to exclude those audiences. You do have some pretty good audiences that Facebook offers you as far as sweepstakes people and freebie pages. There's some pretty big pages and companies out there that are all about freebies and deals. So you definitely want to exclude those kind of interests from your campaigns. Sometimes it's just going to be unavoidable though. So it's just something that you need to keep in mind when you're running rebate campaigns, or even just driving straight sale, straight up purchase type of Facebook ads. And again, this is a theory. It's not something that is set in stone, like we know for sure. It's just something to potentially keep in the back of your mind. So, thank you, Tyler, for jumping on this video and sharing some of your insights and tips and hacks and strategies and things like that. Again, if people want to reach out to you to maybe ask you more questions, can they find you in a certain place on the internet?
I'm more or less kind of in Facebook groups. I don't really kind of tie myself to anything.
Okay.
FBA Kings, I'm in there. I'm in other groups, a lot of Amazon seller groups. But that's I just kind of hang around there. I don't think there's any kind of particular place you can find me at.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks again, Tyler, for jumping on this video with me. Thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully you got some value, and we'll catch you in the next one.